What is up, guys? DZ Fear, and I went to the Tinley Park Regional. I didn't do too great. Admittedly, I went on tilt pretty early, and that kind of screwed up my next couple of rounds. It happens, but I played a fun deck. Obviously, I had my invite, and I was just kind of fucking around. But anyway, I wanted to play something that could make Beatrice the natural way, because then you can use her Foolish Burial effect on like the first turn. And I also wanted to play something that could make Cyframe Lord Omega, because I think that's like the best card right now. And there's like a lot of neat stuff you can do with it. And I wanted to make so like I could like play like normal Hieratics, and you can just like make the Beatrice, but like it didn't like do enough. And like I didn't just want to play like Farfuzz, so like at that point like I might as well just play like the Burning Abyss monsters. So anyway, we played Hieratic BA, and I wasn't gonna post this profile, but like a whole bunch of people were watching me while I was playing throughout the day, and we're just like looking at the fields I had, and we're just like really confused. And some of you guys came up to me and asked if I could post the profile, so I guess I'm going to. Let's take a look at what I played. We played 3 Tefnuit. Tefnuit's kind of the most important one. 3 Sue, 2 Esset. Admittedly, this was a problem, or a mistake or whatever. I definitely should have played 3 Esset, and that came up a whole bunch of times, so I'm just stupid, I guess. Our normals were 1 Watt Tail Dragon and 1 Galaxy Serpent. So I really didn't want to play Galaxy Serpent, but Omega's really cool, because you can, if you open Speedroid Terratop, Tefnuit, and then a Sue, you can go Special Tefnuit, Tribute for Sue, Special Galaxy Serpent, make Cyframe Lord Omega, and then banish it with its own effect, and then Special the Terratop. Like, it's pretty cool. And then 1 Red Eyes. I was going to play BLS. I figured the Red Eyes was just better. They're both like bricks if you draw them, but like the Red Eyes you can just like tutor from your deck, so I thought it was just better. And I'm pretty glad I made that decision. The Red Eyes is also better if you mill it, because you can bring it back with Soul Charge. For the BAs, 3 Skarm, 2 Seer, 1 Graph, 2 Farfa. Really wish I played 3 almost. I don't know. There's just like nothing to search with Skarm after you search the tour guide. 1 Kelcab. I still think he's really good. 1 tour guide. I think that's all pretty standard. I really wanted to play. I cut the Barbar and the Alec last minute for some spells, but originally I was playing a Barbar and Alec. 3 Terratop and 1 Takedown Borg. 2 Maxi and 2 Valor. I was playing 3 Strike, 1 Warning up until like Thursday, and then like I just decided that like they just conflicted with Wingbeat too much, and like they just always got Twin Twister. It was fucking stupid. So hand traps it was, and they were really fun. We were also playing 3 Convocation. That's like the Rhoda. 3 Wingbeat. So this is just a Heavy Storm by bouncing a dragon. So you just special Tefnuit, Heavy Storm, and then special it again. It's pretty dumb. This card's really stupid. Especially, so when I was testing it, it was against my friend Ricky, and like he knew that Heretics played this card. So like he would just like Solemn Strike the Tefnuit every single time, because like this is just too dangerous. But most people like don't fucking know what Heretics do, so like it went off like every single time. Like this card is amazing. I was really afraid people would know what Heretics did somehow, but I guess most people don't. Probably because they're bad. Anyway, 3 Econ. This card's really cool because you can like, there's just a whole bunch of stupid shit you can do with this. You can like take a Dante and make your own Beatrice. You can like take a Beatrice and overlay for Gaia Charger. You can like take Monarchs that they were gonna tribute. You can like take Ignisters to pop their scales. Like, and it triggers the Heretics, so it's pretty stupid. And then we just played a Soul Charge and a Foolish. Foolish is good for, like, the early game, and Soul Charge is just amazing all around. Like, Soul Charge, it's really hard to lose when you open, or when you draw Soul Charge. It's just such a powerful card in this deck. Playing 3 Daunting extra deck. 2 Beatrice. Definitely missed the 3rd a lot. Like, oh my god, the 3rd came up so much. I didn't even think that was possible, but the 3rd Beatrice came up way more than I would care to admit. If you are looking to play this deck casually, like, for the love of God, put in 3 Beatrice, because it needs it. And then 1 Pilgrim, which I made a lot. At the last event I played this in, I didn't make, like, no one ever killed the Beatrice, but then I just started to realize that, like, if you just crash the Beatrice into things, you can just summon Pilgrim, and, like, Pilgrim was, like, impossible to get over for, like, every deck except Cosmo. So, he's really cool. Because, like, he's, like, a better Beatrice, because, like, instead of like milling, he's like discarding, and you get to like draw a card. It's really good. Anyway, Break Sword and Nightmare Shark never made either of those. Just didn't come up. I did make this guy a lot to recycle hand traps. Strike Bonds I never made it. I made Autumn probably like every single game. That's probably an exaggeration, but like every single game that I actually had access to Hieratic cards, I probably made out to him. One Gaia Charger. Not really for going over these guys, but for, like I said, with the Econ and stuff. One F-Zero, never made it. And then one Stardust and one Omega. Omega is to do the... Well, Omega works really well with a side deck card that I'll get to in a second. And Stardust protects Floodgates. So that's why we're playing those. Side deck. So these cards were awful. So the idea is that you can like summon these against Cosmo and then they can't chain anything to them. And then like you can keep them alive, but it's really bad. System Down was just better. So yeah, these were terrible. Don't play these. It's fucking god awful. 2 Twin Twisters. Like when you side in Floodgates, you side out the wing beads, so you don't just blow them up. And in that case, you like want to side in the Twin Twisters. One System Down because I'm an idiot and wanted to try out the Qualifier guy. That you should definitely just play 3 System Down. Like, yeah, definitely. 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance for floodgating. 3 Massacre Restrict. So even though I have like Hieratics, you like side out the Econs and then you like go first against Monarchs, and you like the Hieratics are still good because you can make like a Beatrice, and they're also good if your opponent outs the Massacre Restrict because then you can just summon a Hieratic and then their field spells turned off. So I didn't think these conflicted with the Hieratics too much. The hot tag that's going around is like Booby Trap E. So you can discard a card to set a Floodgate from your hand. It's definitely in graveyard. Yeah, hand or graveyard to your field. And then you can use it that turn. So basically, any game that you open a Beatrice and a Booby Trap, you can just open any Floodgate you want to. So against like Monarchs and Pepe, it's like 6 copies of the Floodgate you want. This card's really good. Like, yeah, there's like a Draco Pelt matchup where like I had this set and like so luckily I milled the anti-spell without having to use Beatrice. So like he like activated Archfiend Eccentric. I was like sure he like activated targeting this, so like chain this to set anti-spell, and then he just scooped. And then the last side deck card was Mischief of the Gnomes. So this card's really cool. Basically, if you go first, you open Beatrice and then Sideframe Lord Omega. Got the Beatrice and Sideframe Lord Omega. Use Beatrice to send Mischief during the draw phase, and then you banish this. So everything in both players' hands is reduced by 1 level, and that's even if they like search any cards or whatever, and it continues when they're on the field. And then during the standby phase, you use Omega to put it back in the graveyard, and then like during the main phase, you banish Omega or whatever. So anyway, it basically forces forces PK Fire to like actually just like skip 2 turns, because like even if they have an out to Omega on their following turn, like the first turn they can't out it, like it's impossible. Like they have to have like Regeki, but even then you can just banish it. But they might draw like a strike. So like on your second turn, you banish this in the standby phase, and then like you try to put it back with Omega, and they might strike it. But at that point, like they still skipped 2 turns, and you can usually just OTK them. But you only have to play the 1 copy. It's like really cool. All you have to decide against like PK Fire is like the 1 copy of Mischief of the Gnomes, and it just like wins you the matchup. It's ridiculous. But anyway, this deck's a lot of fun. I have some changes I'm going to be making, but for like a silly deck, it was pretty good. I'll see you guys later.